Hello. Hi, my name is Marcelo Tafoya. I'm a data scientist for the state of Texas. I'm also a small business owner and a CMO for a nonprofit, as well as do lecturing and give speeches and all that stuff. So nice to meet y'all. How many of y'all are entrepreneurs? Like, do y'all have your own business already going? Okay, awesome. And the rest of y'all are interested, trying to learn what you need to do to start your own business? Okay, that's cool. So what kind of businesses do y'all have, real quick? I just want to see. Anybody feel like mentioning what type of business they're running? Professional service? Awesome. Anybody else?
I'm a musician.
Musician, great. Music? Awesome.
Screen printing and embroidery.
Oh, okay, great, yeah.
Concierge style home services company.
Oh, okay, nice. Anything else?
Coaching, consulting, leadership development.
Coaching, consulting. See, y'all are all in my fields. Because, well, I was born and raised in music. My father owned 5 radio stations, so I was born and raised in the industry. You said consulting, professional services, stuff like that. I do that. On top of that, you know, I'm Mexican, man. I grew up in the construction industry, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like it just happens, right? So what's really cool is that I didn't really understand this until I went back to school. That's where I ended up getting my degree in my education in data science. And I started learning more and more about AI. And that was at the age of 33, 34. So I went back to school at an older age, graduated from UT. So this is something anybody can learn. It doesn't matter what age you are, you know, what you're used to doing. The beauty is that AI is amazing. It's coming. And the funny thing is, people are scared it's going to take away their jobs. Well, AI is not going to take away anybody's jobs. It's the people that know how to use AI that are going to take people's jobs. So there's a big difference. It's not AI itself. So we can leverage AI in our small businesses in ways that you've never thought of before, because as an entrepreneur myself, I mean, I've owned several different businesses. I know how stressful it is. I know how hard it is, how you can't afford to pay somebody else to help you with different situations. And you're just struggling to get on your feet. And most businesses fail, you know, in the first 2 to 3 years of operation. Why? They're either undercapitalized or they just don't know how to operate their business correctly, or they've picked the wrong business to try to operate for their style because they're just jumping into a zone where they don't even know. They have no passion for it. So AI is going to help you alleviate all of those problems. So what is AI? Okay. AI is a machine. It's basically referred to as simulation of human intelligence inside of machines. So we're simulating what a machine would be like with a human brain, right? The thing is that it's not sentient. So people tend to get scared when you say the word AI. They think Terminator, right? We're going to get annihilated. You know, T2 is going to come through the door and it's game over. That's not it. We train these systems on data sets that we want it to have knowledge about. It can search the web, but it can only look at the data that's on the web. It doesn't make its own decisions. It doesn't come up with it and say, hey, today I feel like making a bagel. You know what I'm saying? The machine doesn't do that. The machine only does what you ask it to do. And so that's the difference. There's another science that's coming out that will we're trying to approach sentience, but it's not going to happen within probably the next 50 years, honestly. So number one, get that out of your head. We're just creating a system that's full of data that will be able to help you achieve the goals that you want. Everybody's here is probably used to using Google or Yahoo, some kind of search engine, right? Think of AI as a souped up, turbocharged search engine. It's a search engine on steroids. Why? Because we added something what we call natural language processing to it. And so what that does is, with a search engine, you type in some keywords and it searches based on those keywords, but it has no idea what you're actually asking for. It's just relating keyword and keyword and saying, hey, 2 and 2 equals 4. This is what they're searching for. That's why Google has algorithms. That's why they create search engine optimization, because of that. You know, you have to optimize your website so that you can match the keywords that people are looking for. So that's the whole reason why that exists. AI takes it a step further. It says, I don't need those keywords specifically. I can associate in natural language what they are asking me for, and I can retrieve that data for them. So when you use AI, think about it in that format. It's just trying to have a conversation with you. It's just trying to find out what you really want. And it'll keep helping you further and further. This will get more in depth when we start talking about advanced prompting, which is using AI to advance prompts so you can get the actual answers that you need. And it's a part of chain prompting. So, all right. So like I said, common misconceptions. People think it's AI. The importance of AI in business is vast. It's dramatic. A lot of the tools that you're probably using right now, you don't realize are some form of AI. If any of y'all are using QuickBooks, QuickBooks has AI built into their system. Why? Because it's able to recognize, it learned on a model to recognize which of your bills are for business and which of your bills are for personal. And so that little swipe that you do, you're training the system on what to do. So you're actually teaching a model, an AI system, how to work for you. And it's as simple as that. There's so many different programs out there that are using AI technology that you don't even realize. You're training these models by using them. And the good thing is, the more you get used to using them, the better your company and your business will be. So let's move forward. So why AI? Benefits for small and medium businesses: increased efficiency, improved customer service, enhanced decision-making, competitive advantage. So have you ever sat there as a business owner and asked yourself, you know, man, I really wish I could have somebody to bounce this idea off of? You know, you're sitting there trying to figure out if it's a good idea. Well, you could talk to AI. You can literally ask it, like, what do you think of this? And what other, be my devil's advocate. Tell me what is wrong. And it will sit there and it'll give you answers back. It'll talk to you. You know, you have to understand that it's not an actual human being, so don't get confused by it. But it's going to look at the question that you're asking, word by word, and it's going to basically like a search engine, but in a better way, because it understands those nuanced little words in between keywords. So it's going to look at every word. It's going to put it in a major formula. It's called a neural network, a formula that is going to put all these associations and look within these data sets. And it's going to say, this is what they're asking me. Now let me respond back. And so you can actually talk to it like if it's a business partner or if it's a professor, anything. So when I sit there and I write a prompt, I say, hey, you are a professor of this and this and that. Please help me find out, who are my competitors, within the Austin market. And it'll start searching the web and it'll start displaying who your competitors are. And then you say, what is my competitor analysis? Can you help me run a competitor analysis of what they're doing and how I can differentiate my business? How can I create a value proposition for my business? And it'll help you develop that. It'll help you differentiate your business. Why? Because it's AI. It's beautiful, man. This thing is amazing. This thing is going to help you change your life when it comes to business, when it comes to everything you want to do. Customer service. We've all seen chatbots, right? Well, those chatbots are from the past. New chatbots are coming out. They utilize AI. And AI, as I said, can have a conversation with you. It's going to have a more human feel, a more human touch to be able to talk with your customers. And it's going to actually be able to give responses that you would give yourself. Why? Because it's trained on your knowledge, on your data set. It's trained on the way that you've responded before. It's learning from you and it's adapting to help you. You know, when you're using AI, if you're doing it for your job, for somebody else, don't put in any sensitive information. Number one, I mean, ChatGPT does erase your chats. It doesn't store its data unless you tell it to. But otherwise than that, just be safe. Don't do that. But for your personal business, ask it questions. I mean, don't put in social security numbers, but you know, you can ask, actual questions. You can ask it mathematical questions. You can ask it coding questions. You can ask it questions that you never even thought of. There's AIs out there now that can help you do everything. You wanted to create a mobile app for your business? Well, there's AI that'll help you build your mobile app. And you don't have to know any form of coding. All you do is log in and you just start plugging away. What is the app called? What is the app supposed to do? And it'll code it for you. It'll frame it and do everything for you. So there's a ton of different AIs out there that, businesses need to know about. Yes, ma'am.
I thought if you're like doing market analysis or whatever, that it's only trained up to like 5 years ago.
That is ChatGPT 3.5, but there's a workaround. Copilot on Microsoft Edge allows you to use the latest ChatGPT, which is connected directly to the internet. And it does live internet searches right then and there. And it even brings up actual links to show you where it found this information from. So now you have your references. And so you're able to cite whatever you need to, or you can double check everything just to make sure. So if you're using 3.5, yeah, that's been stopped, paused in time, because that was the data it was only trained on. But ChatGPT 4 and Turbo, etc., those are all up to date. So let's see. So practical applications. Yes, sir.
What was the first one you mentioned?
Oh, Copilot.
Code pilot?
C-O Pilot. Copilot with Microsoft Edge. And I'll show y'all in a minute, as long as they got Microsoft Edge on this laptop. So as we were talking about practical applications, financial management, you already use QuickBooks. QuickBooks is AI. Don't be scared of it. If you don't use QuickBooks, trust me, as a small business owner, that thing has saved my life so many times. There's so many times where I thought I was going to get out of it. But using QuickBooks allows me to keep track of all of my write-offs, everything that I'm doing with my business. It saves you because it is trained on these systems. You don't have to go back through tons and tons of receipts like you used to have to back in the day. Now you have a running track record of all of it. And that's an AI system integrated into an older system that we use. Content creation, beautiful thing. There's a site called Write Sonic. Write Sonic. Like WR Write. WRITE Sonic. SONIC. Write Sonic. No, they're all paid, and that's going to be another slide we're going to get to. That's going to be the one hiccup. However, it's cheaper than hiring somebody. So when you're using this, it's cheaper than hiring somebody, and there's other ways around it. So content creation, Write Sonic will help you do your marketing, right? Right, like the word right, WRITE, and then Sonic. Yes. I'm going to be talking to Joy and to them to see if I can get y'all a guide on all this. And I'm going to also see if I can get you the slides. But the workbook's going to be the one that's going to go in depth. It actually has different names of software. So hopefully I can get that to y'all. Yes.
Is there somewhere we can access the video footage?
I do not know that's a part of the city. I'm an outside entity, so you may want to ask them.
When you say it helps make your marketing content, are you just talking about like Instagram posts or something? Like what do you do to make your marketing content?
Well, there's a lot of different things. So when it comes to videos, there's AI for videos. Like, so say you're in the music industry and you want to shoot a music video. Well, there's an AI software that you can just film clips of your live shows and then you can just load them in there, and it'll do the editing for you. It'll actually edit your video together for you to where you can actually put out a music video. If you want to create like content for YouTube, well, there's ways to use, there's actually AI video where it looks like an actual person speaking and reading your information. So let's say you want a commercial and it's like, the Geico commercial or whatever, and you got this guy talking and stuff. Well, you can do the same thing with AI, and you're not actually having to hire the paid actor to go do that, and the film crew and everything else. So there's a ton of ways. Also in music, I'm sorry, I need to turn this down. In music, there's let me double check. Okay. There's a program that'll actually help you make music. It'll actually create music based upon keywords and different information that you put in there. And it'll follow the tone or the rhythm the way that you want it. You can actually change which key it's in and the rhythm, the tempo that you set it at, and you can choose what type of format it's going to be in. And so that'll allow you to become creative when you're making your own music, because then you're expanding your mind and saying, you know what, that sounds good. Let me add a timbali, or let me add a snare. You know what I'm saying? Right here, or whatever you're going to add, it'll help you expand your horizon. So AI is everywhere. It can help you with everything. Your social media marketing, etc. Yes? It might be, there's a couple of them out there now. Right now, there's so many AI companies hitting the floor that I can't keep up with all of them. Honestly, there's probably about 100, to 1,000 different ones every day popping up. Like, it's crazy. They're all built on different frameworks like Llama, ChatGPT, well, GPTs, Llama. Claude is built off of another one. I'm trying to remember the name. But there's tons and tons of AIs coming out all the freaking time. It's amazing. Marketing, like I was saying, they also help you do social media marketing. And they'll even do your schedule. So let's say you have a small business. Say you have a construction business or a lawn care business or something. Well, you can actually schedule your posts to have it sit there and post for you automatically. You don't even have to be there. It's a social media marketing company. I wish I had my laptop up because I don't remember all the names, but okay, great. So it will, the easiest thing in the world to do is to Google things, but you can go to ChatGPT and literally ask it. You could say, for example, I can go here. Let me see if I can pull it up right now while we're talking, because I want to be able to show you if they'll allow me to use Copilot here, which it does. So let me go ahead and mimic this screen. We'll jump out of the slides for a while. And so display settings, bear with me. So let's see. Okay, so we're here. Let me see. Let me revert back because for some reason it is not allowing me to see both screens. So duplicate these displays. So here we go. Okay, keep the changes. So, crap, it's going in here. Let me escape out. So here's Copilot. Copilot's freaking awesome. So what was the last issue I was talking about? Do you remember? What was I saying before dealing with this computer? We're talking about social media, right? So we can say, what AI systems are available to help me schedule social media posts or marketing. And what are the benefits? Boom. So you allow it to do that, right? And it's searching the web. And it's showing you the benefits of social media scheduling, right? And it shows you right here, top AI social media scheduling tools. And so it's bringing them up. So then now you can sit there and like Sendable. Sendable is one that I use all the time, but that one's just typically like a scheduler. What I do is I tie in my AI directly to Sendable, but there are other means that will actually do it. So right here, God, let me click. Okay. No, you shouldn't have to sign in for this. Oh, okay.
We can use this.
Continue.
Go to bing.com.
Yeah.
We can use
Copilot.
Copilot on any.
On any laptop, any tablet, anything that you can download Bing on, you can use Copilot.
And that's ChatGPT.
That's ChatGPT 4 Turbo for free. That's a hack. That is a super hack. You know, me, I pay for the 4.0, even though I can still use Copilot, but that's because I like to keep everything stored. Everything's stored in my little sidebar.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, this won't save it, but this is just like an awesome hack because now I have like all the links I need, etc. And it just helps.
Like free hacks like that for stuff that you found.
Awesome. So other ones are usually paid. You can use Claude for free.
What is that?
Claude, Claude. Claude. You can use it for free. Huh?
Facebook came up with WhatsApp.
Yeah. Facebook has their Meta AI bar.
Bard AI too.
Yeah, there's Bard. Bard you can use. It just all depends on the answers that you're getting because they're all good at something separate, right? Like one is really good at helping with code, like Bard. Bard's really good with code. Yes. Gemini and Bard. Bard is the predecessor to Gemini. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the before, but Bard is still in existence.
And how do you access
So,
Bard?
yeah, you just sign up on Google. You just type in Google Bard, B-A-R-D.
And what about Claude? Where do we access that?
Claude should be, I think that's Jasper, but let me double check. Claude AI. Right here, it's Claude AI. And you can just sign up with your Gmail. And I should be logged into here, but let me.
The workaround too, instead of saving it in a bond, you can just copy and paste and put in a document.
Yeah. Yeah. So even on ChatGPT 4, you can actually save a document and you can upload the document into ChatGPT. It could read your document and assist you with everything. Or you could, you were saying save. Yeah, you could save the information on a document. You can copy it, paste it onto a Word and save it. But yes.
So Claude is for what?
Claude is basically the same thing as ChatGPT, but it's a different LLM, large language model. It was trained differently, but they're extremely similar. This one's got a more friendly tone. It's got a more like human tone to it, where ChatGPT was like pushed out and that sucker was like, let's go. You know, this one was a little bit more finessed. So there's also Pi you can download on your phone and use it for free. And the beauty of Pi is that you could just talk to it and you can have a conversation with it just like you're talking to a normal human. And it even has everything set up. So you just sit here and, for example, you probably won't be able to hear all this, but What is the distance between Austin and San Antonio, Texas? And then you just hit this little send button and it'll search it up for you.
The distance between Austin and San Antonio, Texas is approximately 80 miles, 129 kilometers, if you're driving nonstop. The estimated driving time is around 1 hour and 20 minutes, depending on traffic and any stops you may make along the way. Of course, if you're flying, the straight line distance between the two cities is about 73 miles, 118 kilometers.
Anyway, Pi is a free tool you can use. It's downloadable on your phone. It's an app. And you can talk to it. Like I said, you just hit your mic button. It'll pick up your voice. It'll transcribe it. And you make sure the speaker is turned on the app. There's a little speaker button. Make sure it's turned on. Yeah, it's built with an LLM backbone. So it has all the data in there and it can help you out. So it's like an upgraded Siri, but this, you can actually ask business questions too, and it'll help you.
Siri can be a little disappointing.
Yeah, this one's not disappointing. Not when it comes to talking. It's just Pi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pi.
Are there
Yeah.
any privacy concerns we need to be worried about?
So yeah, going back to the slides, that's one of the legal and privacy. So when it comes to legal and privacy, like I said, don't put any personal information in the systems, just because even me being a data scientist, I know it's not collecting that because it's just a small amount of data within a large data set. The thing is that there's always bad actors out there, right? And so you never know if there's going to be a breach, right? So you don't even want to take the chance of that data getting out there because ChatGPT has, I mainly focus on GPT, and the reason why it's the oldest that's been active for people. I mean, it's not the oldest in itself, but it's the oldest that has been active for the public. So when you look at it, they have made strides to where it doesn't keep your data that you put in. And you can actually delete your chats, and you can tell it not to keep it, not to store it. You can do all that to protect it. But I still don't take the chance. You know what I mean? Because you just don't want to risk it. So in that kind of situation, you don't put personal information in. You don't put any kind of HIPAA information, any kind of like birth dates or social security numbers. You can use theoretical or you can use fake data in place of your data. You get what I'm saying? So let's say you ask it, you tell it, I have a, band and my band plays, 80s cover songs or whatever. Who would be my target audience within the city of Austin? And then it'll start spitting out like who it believes your target audience would be. It'll start doing research on those websites, and that's Copilot. That'll start doing research on those and try to help you find who your ideal target market is. So it's a pretty amazing tool, especially if you're having a hard time thinking about it, because it'll allow you to think deeper on it. You don't have to guesstimate anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're just hoping and wishing. Now this is actually giving you hard data so you can look it up and double check and make sure. This is not going to replace a business education, but this is going to assist you with your business. You get what I'm saying? So you have to understand the fundamentals of business to use these tools effectively for your business. So this is the funny thing though, you can get it to actually answer those fundamental questions that you need to know. You just have to know how to ask the question. So when we go back to that chain prompting is a beautiful thing. People tend to use ChatGPT and think, oh, wow, I asked it a question, totally didn't give me the answer that I was looking for. Well, that's because your prompt wasn't specifically clear enough for it to understand what you're asking. So when you chain prompt, you start with a very general question. You say, hi, I'd like to start a consulting firm in the city of Austin, Texas. Can you help me figure out what type of consulting I should do? Very broad. And then you say, can you ask me questions to help me target what I would be good at, who I could serve, and who would be my target clients. And it'll actually come back with a response, and it'll say, okay, what are your interests? What is your education? What is, it'll start asking you these prompts back to you, and you fill in the blanks. And then it actually takes it from there, and you say, okay, based on the previous conversation we had, based on the data we just shared, how would I do this? Or what do I do next? What are my next steps to starting my business? And it'll actually walk you through your steps. It'll say, you say, okay, I live in Austin, Texas. What are the next steps I would need to take to start this business in Texas? And it'll sit there and tell you, you need to go to the Secretary of State. You need to contact the comptroller. You need to contact IRS. You need to do these different steps. Create your business plan, create your marketing plan, create your finance plan, etc. It'll walk you through everything as long as you begin broad and then you start refining down to get those niche prompts that you're trying to get. So don't let one failure or two failures stop you. Start broad and start refining from there, asking further, deeper and deeper questions till you get the exact answers you're looking for. Double check them. Make sure that they sound right to you, because that's the thing. You know your business better than anybody else. When it comes to you yourself, you think, hey, I know my business better than any of my friends because I'm doing it every day, right? Well, the thing is that if you're doing it and you ask it a question and it gives you back an answer, you can say, hey, that looks a little bit off to me. Why does it look off? Did I ask something different? Did I ask something wrong? Why is the data not matching up? Well, you're going to see that if you ask the question a little bit differently, you can actually guide it to giving you the exact answer that you're looking for. And it actually teaches you how to prompt better in the future so that you understand how your prompting is working and how you can funnel it down to the best answer. So chain prompting is amazing. A lot of people don't use it, but it's a beautiful freaking thing. It's something that, I live by. So,
I read something
yes.
that ChatGPT data is current like 2022 or something
Yeah,
like that.
so that's,
You probably said that before I got in here.
yeah.
Is that true of almost
So-
all of these AI platforms that we're gonna have access to?
It was true when ChatGPT 3.5, 3 and 3.5 came out. That LLM was trained on a enclosed data set. So that was basically some nerds like me in a room saying, hey, we got all this data. Let's just collect it all and let's see if this even works. We're just testing this thing. We're seeing if it's even working. And so once they proved it was working, they were like, this is our MVP, our minimal viable product. Let's throw this sucker out there and let the world explore it and see what feedback we get back. Well, once that was out there, everybody was like, hey, this is freaking amazing. This is great, but it's not current. Where's the new data? That's where ChatGPT 4.0 and Turbo came out. Copilot, when Microsoft got tied in, they purchased a portion of OpenAI, and that's how they built Copilot. Copilot's tied into everything that's Microsoft right now. If you use Power Automate or Power Apps or anything that is Microsoft, it'll sit there and help you build any tool that you need. So it's an amazing, amazing thing.
Power Automate?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a Microsoft product, and you actually have to pay for that. But Power Automate it's called a robotic process automation software, and you can teach it to, say if you had a blog and you wanted it to go and scrape different websites for data, it can go to those different websites, scrape the data off of there, and then load it into your website or load it into an email or load it into whatever you're trying to do. Say if you're doing a newsletter, it can go and search for different keywords and then pull all that data and then put it into a newsletter for you automatically. And so that's robotic process automation. It can also help you when you collect data from, like, say you put out a feedback form online, and that data goes into a Google Sheets. So you can turn around and get that data, do calculations inside of your Google Sheets, and then send back a report directly to your email using Power Automate. That'll sit there and say, hey, X amount of clients said this, X amount of clients said that. And so now you have that report in your system without you having to have done anything. You didn't have to do anything. You just opened up your email and got your report. Power Automate's a beautiful thing. It's a different subject, though. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there one, I'm a musician and I have to send a crap ton of booking emails
Mm-hmm.
to the booker at different venues, and I have to spend a lot of time on the internet or talking to other musicians getting these emails because they're not just available on the website usually.
Yeah.
Is there something that could help me with that, or
So-
actually just
so-
sending so many emails in the first place, and also festival bookers, like all of that stuff?
Well, of course, you know of things probably like MailChimp and Constant Contact and all that. However, depending on what you're trying to do, if they're like extremely personalized, you're going to want to tie that to AI. And you're going to want to teach AI how you talk to business owners like in the industry. And so you're going to have to train it on that. So when it does receive an email, it can send back a response out. However, you have to connect that through an API. That may be a little bit more complex, but you can look that up online.
What's an API?
Yeah, an API. Basically, an API is a backdoor to the database. So it connects to the back end of the database. And so it's a direct connection between whatever software you're using to a data set that is allowed to be able to be transferred to that program. It's a little bit more, it's actually easier than you think it is. The API, they give you an API key and you just connect it and it tells you what you can and can't do. It tells you what information you can get and what information you can't get. So you can,
At a very base level, I would be able to go on a Microsoft Copilot if it's
Yeah.
on current information and say, give me the email addresses of all the booking agents for the venues in Austin, Texas.
as long as it's trained on their data. So let me go back here and let's say, for example, we do that, right? You know, you have to go back to Bing, go back to Copilot, and we say, hey, what is the contact information for all of the music venues in Austin, Texas, right? It may not be able to do them all, but it's going to give you some. So right here, it starts with the phone numbers and it starts giving you their address, everything. So if you need to make the phone calls, you can. And then you can say, you can ask it, can you find any associated emails with those venues? You know, it doesn't have specific email addresses. That's where LinkedIn would come into play. You know, that's where Reverb Nation, LinkedIn, et cetera, different kinds of websites would come into play for that specific contact information. This can get you to the door, but it can't walk you through it. You know what I mean? So
When you say that, do you mean like if you were to actually ask it, what is this venue's LinkedIn information? Like,
Yeah.
would it be able to go into that?
LinkedIn, it should, because that's publicly available from like Google. You can ask for, you know, information that it can scrape directly off Google, but not with inside of LinkedIn's database itself, because that's private information, right? You know, those are either public or not public, and there's a lot of legal.
So it just depends
Yeah.
if they have it public.
If they have it public on their site, if they have it public somewhere, then usually it can. Yeah, but it can give you links to different websites and stuff. So,
Can you ask it to like,
so
oh yeah, see, it does do links, okay.
So it's doing links, it's doing contact information, descriptions, etc. It even takes you can even go directly to their website. So, yes.
Question, thinking about emails, can you train, is there an AI program that you can train to answer general inquiries that you receive?
You can do that.
You decide which kind of inquiry it is and respond
Yeah.
back to what you said, what you respond.
You can do that with chatbots. There's new chatbots that have AI systems tied into them. And like Microsoft 365, where it actually connects to your messages, can actually learn from the responses that you send back, and it can learn from the questions that they're asking, and it can build a prompt history to know how to answer those questions of your clients.
And then they'll respond back like in your style.
Yes.
However you respond,
Your tone, your style, yeah, your format.
If you're using Microsoft 365, that's through the Copilot?
Microsoft 365 is a separate program with Microsoft, but it uses Copilot in it. That's the thing, right? It's all tied to it. I mean, when it comes to cost of some of these, you're never going to get away from having to pay something eventually. But like I said earlier, it's cheaper to use these than it is to hire somebody, right? So instead of hiring an assistant or getting a business partner to sit there and kick ideas around with, it's cheaper to talk directly to ChatGPT. Even if you pay $20 a month, you're not having to split, your profits with a business partner. You're able to talk to ChatGPT and say, hey, help me create my business plan for my business. Help me create my financial plan. Create the tables, the financial tables that I need to know about. What are the expenses I can look towards for my business? So this is Copilot, right? And I say, you are a professional business consultant. Please tell me what is the best method for creating a financial plan for my business. My business focuses on hair products, right? In the Austin, Texas market, right? Boom. And so you ask it its question, right? And so it's going to tell you market research analysis, sales forecasting, cost structure, pricing strategy, budgeting, and all these different things. And you say on the next one, that's great. Can you help me make a table in Excel or for Excel with these different areas and a breakdown of the formulas I may need. Right?
Saying that's great, does that literally tell the system like you like the response is on the right track? Or
Yeah,
do you
you
have to do things like that?
you don't have to, but it's best for you to start thinking of it as another person, because when you ask it questions like you're asking another person, it learned through natural language processing. You have to break those norms of using Google for search, because Google for search, you had to use keywords, right? You had to use specific keywords to try to get the answers you're looking for. Well, this uses natural language processing, so you have to kind of like break that keyword specific question, right?
Like, what is talking to it like a human? Like, what
It
does
just
do?
it just changes your mindset, because when you
Mindset or the computer?
your mindset for when you ask questions, right? Because now you're asking it questions as if you were asking a friend. You were asking an advisor.
So you're teaching yourself to associate with
Yes, and once you're getting used to it, it makes it easier to learn how to prompt better. Because like I said, it uses natural language processing. It was trained to understand human annotations and the way that you talk, the slang that you use. It was taught to interpret that and understand it based on context clues, where using real specific keywords, you're going to get real hard answers, and it's not going to actually get you what you're looking for. It's going to get you a really generic kind of response. You're going to look at it and you're going to be like, this isn't what I was wanting. and you're going to be like, this doesn't work. It's no good. Well, maybe not you, but most people will sit there and be like, this didn't give me the answers I was looking for. I'm done with it. It's not worth it. When it really is actually extremely powerful if you're willing to just put in the time. And it's not much time. It's just asking it questions like you normally would, talking to it. Right here, it's just, this is breaking this down. I like it better in ChatGPT because it'll actually give you the table. You can copy and paste the table directly into Excel. Yes.
So I'm watching this because so many times
Yeah.
I use Google, and I was wanting to know the difference between an EBITDA and a P&L.
Yeah.
And so I'll go to my financial person.
Yeah.
They explain it in such a way, and then I'm kind of embarrassed to go to the next level.
Yeah.
So on this one, this
Yeah.
helps me to have that conversation.
Exactly.
And also if I wanted to know what the ROI is on a $4.5 million home and
Mhm.
put down $200,000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of me,
Instead of you having to call the financial advisor or whoever you're working with, you can ask it those kind of questions. And it can actually show you those responses. And then you can double check those responses. There's a beautiful math program I use just because I used it in college. It was called Wolfram Alpha. And Wolfram Alpha, it shows you the step-by-steps of all of your mathematical calculations. It breaks everything down for you. This thing breaks it down to like kindergarten understanding. You're just like, whoa, this is freaking amazing. So you can learn calculus without even having went to college.
individuals who kind of
Yeah.
become creative and writing and things
Yeah.
like that. This is actually a tool
Yeah.
that can help us.
Help you with your business, help you with your life, help you with any kind of calculation. When your kids come home from school and they got a math question you do not understand, you bust out Wolfram Alpha, plug it in there, take a picture of it and plug it in there or whatever, and it'll spit out the answer and it'll show you step by step how you did it. You can be like, I know how to do this. Look, boom, 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 acting like you. Wolfram Alpha. Wolf like a wolf, and then ram like a ram, and then the word alpha.
No, my kids laughed at me because
Yeah.
I had algebra for dummies when they hit the third, fourth grade because they were just so left brain.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mom. I was like, whatever. That's what I need.
Exactly. So you.
How much is that expensive? Or?
Wolfram Alpha, when I was using it, the basic was free without the step-by-step. It will just show you the answer, and I'm pretty sure it's still that way. If you want the answer detail, it's probably like $15 a month or something like that. But if you have kids in school, trust me, it's worth it. It's just, especially trying to keep up with their math because they learn different kinds of math we learned. It's just an amazing tool. So, yes.
You can ask AI or any kind of AI
Yeah.
thing of like, I need to understand like how to do my kid's algebra program. They can tell you which AI code to use, right?
Yeah, so you can say, right here, you can say, my kid has an problem. Can you help with the math? I don't know if Copilot does this. I know ChatGPT will sometimes do it. So it says right here, it'll help you. It says, of course, I'd be happy to help with the algebra problem. Please go ahead and share the problem. I'll do my best to assist you. And you could be like 1x plus 5x equals 30, right? Whatever. And you can say it should be able to work it out for you. There you go. Bam, now you're the baddest mama in the world. Now you're just like, what's dale gas, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. This is why it's a beautiful tool. It's amazing. Like the questions and the stuff that we as adults don't know or don't remember because it was like, we went to high school back in the 90s and stuff, and we're just like, I don't remember that. Well, this can actually help you remember that. This can actually show you. This can take you through it.
I used OpenAI to help me with a spreadsheet I was working on.
Yeah.
Cash flow forecasting model. And it helped me with every cell, like forecasting in the future.
Yeah.
Some investment things. Yeah, OpenAI. But I paid for the full version.
Yeah.
But yeah, it types out the whole equation, and if there's a bug in it, you can tell us that it's not working, and it'll help you.
It'll help you troubleshoot it.
I literally
Yeah.
The client was giving me a P&L,
Mhm.
and the investor was looking for the EBITDA report.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, girl, just give me the EBITDA, and then I'm like, this is what it is, and I went to Google. But had I think I had more information, because we're looking at
Mhm.
those numbers, and these investors are serious, and they know their numbers, and they got their financial manager.
Yeah.
And so it would be great for me to be able to communicate.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying don't replace any, kind of financial people, because they can give you stuff and you can sue them if they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I got
don't,
that
yeah, but don't replace the people that are professionals. Like, don't take legal advice from ChatGPT. Always ask a lawyer to make sure, because
It's a matter of understanding.
yeah, because laws, yeah, you can tell if the law is, fairly correct because you're living in Texas, but some laws are very vague to where Texas may have a different, there may be a different way it's interpreted, right? So just don't take it 100% on legal advice. That's the one thing I would say. Legal, financial, will help you with your financial, but I wouldn't take its advice directly, because there's a difference between a human being that was, that's a professional in that industry that can tell you things that this won't be able to exactly tell you. They may be able to tell you loopholes that, you didn't even know, like tax secrets, tax loopholes. But when it comes to very basic, like basic business knowledge, like how to look at an EBITDA, and how to look at your cash flow statement, and how to look at all this different, your P&Ls. If you go ahead and you do that, that's really basic math for this system that it can understand. It's clear cut, right? Like your balance sheet has to balance, right? So when you're looking at it, it can say, okay, A plus B equals C, you know what I'm saying? So it's got to equal 0. So it balanced out, right? It can make those decisions. But when it comes to like tax advice, when it comes to stuff like that, don't use ChatGPT to do your taxes. You know what I mean? Get a CPA. You know what I mean? That way, if you get audited, the CPA is dealing with it, right? Get a tax lawyer, just in case you get audited, they're dealing with it. ChatGPT is not going to represent you in court, so don't trust it for anything very crazy like that. But when it comes to like general knowledge, stuff that you would have questions as a business owner, it can help you with that. You can ask it to help you write a press release, because let's be honest, like writing a press release, even though it's simple, seems like a daunting task. You're like, how do I actually write a press release? How do I format it? Well, this will format it for you. This will help you write your press release for your business. You can ask it, what are the news services I can send this to in this market, in this area? And it'll spit out, the different web links to where you can go to where you can send it out to. This thing is amazing when it comes to just asking it general knowledge business questions that you probably don't have the answers to, unless you went to business school. Me, I was fortunate to go to Macombs, but most small business owners don't have, they're go-getters, right? They just go out there and they just do it. They're just like, I don't need to know. I'm just going to start my business and run. Well, then you start looking back and you're like, crap, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know that I know now, because I just kept breaking through barriers that I wish I had known. So ChatGPT can be that friend that tells you, hey, this is what you need to look out for in the future. This is what you need to do. This is how you pivot. This is how you get over those hurdles that you've been facing. So now, instead of worrying, stressing all night saying, what should I do about this, situation? You can go to ChatGPT, talk to it, tell it what's going on. It can advise you to help you calm down, and it'll most likely tell you either the solution, or it'll tell you, hey, you may need to contact a lawyer, in this situation, because there is some limitations on it where it does have disclaimers that it'll be like, hey, this is information I don't have. Like, you need to contact a lawyer, you need to do something to this effect. But always be wary when taking, like I said, legal or financial advice from an AI system. Double check it with a CPA or a lawyer. But it can get you 90% of the way there. That's the beauty, right? So 90% of the way there saves you thousands, if not hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in legal fees. You start drafting up your contracts, in ChatGPT, you tell it, hey, I need to create a business contract for this and this and that, or I need to create a proposal for a client, you know, and it'll start drafting it out, and it'll get 90% of all the language there that you need. Then you hand that over to a lawyer and you say, hey, can you double check this? Can you make sure it's good? And can you add anything that I missed? Now you just saved. There's actually an AI system it's a lawyer AI system. Hold on. But yeah. Yeah, there's a 5-lawyer software, but this one is, God, I'm trying to look at it. I wish I had mine. AI Lawyer Pro, Personal AI Legal Assistant. But yeah, so that's a legal assistant. Yeah, this one doesn't have all the links that I have on my protect your idea properly with artificial intelligence patents, legal artificial intelligence, AI tools, lawyer. I mean,
There's just like so much
yeah,
mess that you have to sift through.
you got to sift through
Like,
them.
Google searching, like, you know, what AI should I
Yeah.
use for my particular thing is almost feels like a waste of time. You know,
It-
it's hard to know what to go with and what not. Even,
Yeah.
Like,
No, I can totally understand that. It feels overwhelming because of the amount of different
and there's
ones
just
that are
so
out
many
there.
scams and BS.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's the problem, right? You know, over 100 to 1,000 different AI websites pop up every freaking day.
Yeah, when
You
and
know.
at this point, when you Google search something, it's pretty useless.
That's one of the problems that we're.
Stop Google searching and I'll use Bing, whatever.
Yeah, Copilot to ask it.
It literally synthesizes everything that's like.
Perplexity?
Yeah, Perplexity. Yeah, Perplexity is real good. Yeah.
Perplexity.
Yeah, that's another link that I had on my laptop.
Summarize Google searches.
Yeah.
I have a question about translation.
Yeah.
You are in a country that you don't speak the language of. Can you just like
Oh my God. Well, I know on my phone now, my phone does it. It's because I have a Samsung and it uses Android as the base. So Android will automatically translate while I'm on a call, you know, the call while I'm talking to them. But I forgot the one that I presented to y'all. There's one that I presented to y'all that actually does really good translation. It might be Mango. It might be yeah. So I do have links in that, and then I can also email you more links, that trusted links, like trusted actual non-scammy websites that I can send to y'all. You know, so I'll make sure to email those to Joy. That way, all of y'all can get like a plethora of links for anything that you're actually looking for that you can make sure are not scammy. They've been verified by me, double checked, because I know what to look for. Because you can tell it's like some of these things are BS. But yeah, yes.
So Marcelo did a session for small business staff a few months ago, and he left some platforms with us that we could.
Oh yeah, I sent you the links too.
We made a training video with it.
Mhm.
And honestly, I mean, you just about can't tell that it's a bot that's talking to you.
Oh yeah,
It's really good. It's really good.
yeah.
I know we played around to see which ones made the most sense for us to try to
Mhm.
to put in our
To use,
practice.
yeah.
And I think that's basically what you guys are gonna do. You can, I believe it's like 9 pages of links that he's provided that we'll email to you. This doesn't make any sense to give you all of that in paper. But you can start playing with them and seeing which ones seem to make sense to you and which ones feel like you, I think.
Exactly.
For those of us who, had to write our name on the, will we still get an email?
Did you give us your email?
I don't know.
let's make sure I get an email on everybody
Yeah.
that didn't sign, up in the system.
Yeah, because you're going to get bonuses.
Everybody who didn't sign in yet, make sure that you do, but also make sure that I can have an email so that I
Yeah.
can send this to you. Definitely.
So this is awesome. What's up?
I'm just thinking about stuff that I hate doing that, like, could I get AI to do?
Okay, tell me,
One is
what do you?
video submissions and PR.
Yeah.
Like, to get album reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
I
So,
guess a lot of the things I do rely on contact information.
well, believe it or not, there's services out there depending on the music that do that kind of stuff. Like we used to use like New Music Server, and okay, so New Music Server was a server you could upload your music to, and it would be automatically distributed to all the directors, the music directors of the radio stations, so that they could evaluate your music. There's different things. There's ones for Spanish music, for Latino music. There's all kinds of servers out there that you can upload your music to, and it'll go to the PDs, program directors.
It's like a modern day
Yeah.
version of sending a record to the
Yeah,
station.
exactly. Back in the day, we used to have to send records and CDs. Nowadays, it goes into the cloud, into a server, and they just go in there and they listen to it, and then they either decide to spin it or not.
And that's called New Music Server.
New Music Server is one of them. I don't remember all the names because it's been a while since I've been in the industry. It's been probably about 10 years now. But New Music Server was one of the latest ones that I was using. I'm pretty sure there's newer ones out there that are, that you can use. I don't know if you can do it through TuneCore. You probably can, do a distribution through TuneCore, or
Spotify for this.
yeah. What about maybe like Reverb Nation? Do they still exist or not?
I don't know. I've never used it.
You might.
Like, there are paid services.
Well, Reverb Nation was free, and it would rank you based upon like your social count and stuff like that. And so if you're really good at manipulating your social count, then you can actually get listed pretty high on there, and you can start getting gigs all around the world. So my group, we did that, and we got Roskilde in Denmark, in the Netherlands and all that. And we got to go play over there. We got to play here at God, I forgot which festival it was, but there was another festival here on the shores that we got to play at.
But
Yeah.
that's based on your social media followers.
Yeah.
You have a high follower count.
Yeah, so if you go after that, if you boost that, which isn't really true.
Maybe you could do with AI.
Yeah, you could do that with AI. There's actually systems that can do that, that will go out and try to add followers and then remove followers to keep increasing your count. And there's systems that'll do that for you. That's why,
What are those called? What's that?
shoot. So,
Sounds useful to.
yeah, it's useful, but you got to take those with a grain of salt, because you can get your account banned if they find out you're using a bot.
Is that what
So-
you're talking about? Bots?
So that's a bot system.
See, I'm talking about like actually ads that are targeting people who would actually like your
Well,
genre of music and follow
Well,
you.
well, that's what I'm saying. So this is a bot, but the bots, I don't know if they've gotten better or not, because I haven't used them in a long time. I do like old school social media marketing myself. That's, as a CMO, that's what I prefer. I literally,
What do you mean old school?
so like I literally tell my communications director every day for 30 minutes to an hour, I want you to go on LinkedIn, and I want you to go and look for Latinos that are successful or have a executive position within companies on LinkedIn. Search for those, and then invite them to follow us or to be a friend. And so they manually do that every day to keep building up our following. And what happens is when they're able to see our ads or see our posts, basically not ads, because we're not paying for ads because we're a nonprofit. When they see our posts, then they can respond back if it's something that they feel, powerful about, and they will donate or become a partner with us or something to that effect. So it's just old school, going out there and clicking for dollars instead of driving for dollars, right? You're clicking for dollars. That works better for the organization that I work with, because it's more of a cultural thing and personal touch kind of thing. Where if you're trying to go for a broad keyword, that's hard, extremely hard. You want to niche down as much as you can. And once you niche down, you can find who your target clients would be. But the same could be done with like Facebook ads. Facebook ads, you can actually niche down into your ideal target customer. You can literally say Austin, Texas, that likes this, that likes that, that listens to this, etc. And you can add all those preferences on there inside of your ads to filter them specifically to those people. So if you know a band that is similar to yours, that plays the similar gigs that you play, you can basically go and target their customers no matter where they're at. And so that's another method. That's totally out of the scope though. That's not AI.
I mean, it kind of is, because AI can help you identify.
Yeah, AI could help you identify the targets that you're looking for. You can, ask it for bands that play this kind of music, and it can do searches for that, and it can help you find like the genres and stuff like that. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, no. I was gonna log in, but it's not accepting my login right now. But you can also build with Claude, which is Claude API. Like I was telling them earlier how to use an API. It's basically just a key that you get. So I don't know if it'll allow me to log into my GPT. So let's see. Oh. Okay, let me see. Well, continue with Google. Oh man, it's gonna ask me for my pass key again and all that other stuff. So let me see. Yes, it's me. Go through here. So you'll see the plethora of, okay, if you're looking at the screen, look at this. This is my sidebar. This is how much I use this thing like crazy. You can see the plethora of questions and stuff. It keeps going. It's still going, and it keeps going. It keeps researching, but I use this thing all the time. It helps me with code for my website. So let me see if it'll pull it up. So right here, when I asked it for some HTML coding for my website, it basically designed it. It says, can you help me design a partners and sponsor landing page for the National Hispanic Institute in HTML? And so it helps me, it writes all the code for me. I don't have to hire a coder to do that. And it actually makes the page. And so all you do is copy and paste that into your, WordPress or whatever under where it says code. And it'll actually create the design of your page for you. And then you just plug and play. It even breaks down the key elements, customization tips, etc. Here is donation journal entries. This will actually show you whenever you're doing journal entries for your books, how to actually set up your journal entries. And so you can ask it questions, and this is what ChatGPT does for you. It helps you with all those questions. If you're asking for questions with Excel, how to remove spaces using the replace function on your home tab. You know, you can ask it and it can actually show you what to do, walk you step by step through your Excel. You know, this is the actual formula you would use to remove spaces from the front and back. A Python SharePoint flow. You know, this will actually show you how to do coding. So, I mean, the tool is amazing. Like, this is actual Python code. So, yeah, I mean, this thing is nuts. AI marketing sales mastery. This will help you with all kinds of things. I mean, it's a beautiful tool. Yes, ma'am. I see your hand up.
Before more people leave, can I just like drop a couple resources that
Yeah.
I think are incredibly beneficial?
Yeah.
Drive, or are you?
Yeah, you can.
Drive up there?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump on.
So I'm gonna just put it over there, because I'm gonna run through them fast, because we're running out of time and wanting to finish.
From her knowledge, go for it.
So I am not a technical person. I come from higher education. I don't know anything about anything, right? But what I do know is that the past 3 years, I did a hackathon, and so it's a lot of robotic. Our product is a lot of robotic process automation, which I had no idea what it was, and so I'm going to show you what I did to learn. And I searched all of YouTube to find this, and I'm telling you, like, I send this to everybody. So it's Bree Does Things, and it's how to use ChatGPT to learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this with robotic process automation. So everything I'm showing you, like, these are things that I am absolutely obsessed with, and I would be removed if I did not show y'all this. So essentially what it does is it goes through a couple of different prompts. I'm not going to do it because I want to continue. But it's like, I want to learn about, insert the topic, can you use a certain principle that gives you like a framework of how to learn it. Create a study schedule, suggest various learning resources, explain whatever topic it is in a very simple manner, create like mental models and analogies. So the best way to teach is usually through analogies and metaphors, because oftentimes people that are not technical and people that are technical is like a complete different language. And then there's, if y'all are in marketing, which I heard that you're a CMO, I'm literally obsessed with this guy. Like, it's kind of weird, but that's okay. So, Marketing AI Institute, there's a couple of different things that they have. They have a couple of blueprints that are available. So if you go in, they have a podcast, great podcast. They go over a lot of the tools. They do workshops. So every now and then they'll do a B2B workshop, and they're free workshops, and then there's like paid conferences. But if you go in and you go into the resources and into the blueprints, I'm going through it fast, but there's a paper over there, you can write it all down. And it gives you like the AI for advertising blueprint, and they're good stuff. The other one was...
Yeah, Jasper. No, I'm saying it's got Jasper on there. That's another tool.
After you go to resources, where do you go?
It'll show you blueprints.
Yeah, blueprints right there.
Yeah.
I recommend the podcast, the blueprints. Follow Paul on LinkedIn. Like the team just puts out a lot of really great stuff. The other one is so he talked a lot about like chain prompting. There's a lot of prompt places. Promptengineering.org is the one that I found.
That's actually one of my links that I was going to show.
And then. Okay, those are related too. And then what I will say is, like, if you join any of the tools and you really like them, a lot of them have like a Slack or a Discord, oftentimes a Discord.
Yeah.
Just join the Discord, because people are dropping like information in there all the time, and a lot of it is like, hey, I made this, or like, hey, look at this, and sometimes it's like big events. Yeah, so
Join the Discords and also the Reddits. I mean, and there's another website that we tend to go to all the time. Let's see, coding, not Code Boot Camp, but man, I need my laptop. Anyways, basically there's a lot of information out there where people will write solutions to the questions that you have when it comes to using prompts or when it comes to using code. And so, yeah, the Discord groups are amazing. I love those. I use Discord for Mid-Journey, which is another AI system. There's another one called Stable Diffusion. So if you're not good at art and you need artwork done, you can use that. If you have the paid version of Adobe, you can use Firefly to do your graphic designs, and you can create graphics for your businesses all day long. You know, you can also do AI image edits and stuff. So a lot of people are already using that on their cell phones to where the AI system will enhance your images. You know, you don't realize it, but you're using AI. And so when you do that, you can create all your branded material utilizing all these tools. And so this can actually help you through everything. Just ask it, tell it you're trying to start a business, and tell it what do you want to do, and let it prompt you through, and then ask it for all the different steps you need to create. You know, because you have to know the financial end, you have to know the marketing end, you have to know your logistics, you have to know all these different areas if you're going to start a business. You know, what are you going to deliver? How are you going to deliver it? Ask it all that. Use these resources, these tools. She's going to send out, Joy's going to send out another plethora of links for y'all to look through. And then make sure to take a picture of the link she just shared. And it's going to help you. You're going to be amazed. Once you understand prompting, the world's your freaking oyster. Like, you can create and do anything and everything you want to do. And it's going to be amazing. So trust me, I'm doing it every day and I see it. That's why I'm able to do as many things as I can do. I'm able to be a CMO. I'm able to be a data scientist. I'm able to be a consultant. I'm able to be a coach. I'm able to, you know, do these trainings and, you know, give lectures at UT on AI and on sales and marketing. You know, so it's because of AI. It allows me to spread myself out and do more of the things that I love to do. And it's because of these tools. Without these tools, I would be going crazy. I'd be nuts. You'd see me over here looking like Einstein with my hair everywhere, and you know, but I don't. I look good. No, I'm just so yeah, I mean, AI will help you in life, in everything, and don't be scared of it.